All right. Thank you very much, everyone. We now have the home team coach. Coach, if you can just give us maybe a summary of the 90 minutes in your view.
I think we didn't start very good in this game. I think we had 10 minutes to adapt. And I think we have technical players, we have mental strong players, we have players who can deal very good with spaces. And I think from the 10th minute we used that quality we have. There was a lot of movement. There were a lot of possibilities to create more chances. And I think we also showed the last 15 minutes that finally for everybody the mind is stronger than the body. And that's why I think we finalized this game in a victory.
Thank you, Coach. By just a show of hands, I'll take the first question, and it will be Karabo once more. You can go ahead.
Thank you, Fatuani. Good evening, Coach. Fantastic victory here for you tonight against a very strong side. Well, maybe not strong tonight, but for you, I mean, a certain player in midfield, that is Tanzania. I mean, what a player, what a performance that he put in today, as well as Ralani. For you, Ralani, were you particularly happy with Ralani as well as Tanzania in the middle of the park, Coach?
I cannot really hear the question.
Du and Ralani, their performance today.
Yeah, that's. I think that you can pick out more players because, but I think both did very well. I think surprise Rulani, he can play fantastic in between lines, and he's like a magician in his choices. Nobody can teach him. You can only bring him as a team in the right position, and I think that's a compliment for the team, but also a compliment for him. The way he played and Mdu. He came with us this season, and I must compliment also the scouting and the club that they found this player because he developed in a very short time. He's everywhere on the pitch. He's also very creative. He's a hard worker, very good team player, and again, the team uses these players in the way they play, and that's why they can be excellent because the team make them excellent, I think.
Robin Duke.
Coach, I looked at Sundowns' defense. It looked so shaky all the time. And then you said Ralani was a magician in that department. And also, Coach, you came at a club where things were all over the place. And then I think they were second from bottom at the time when you came. And then you look at the improvement that you have made. Now, how quite are you chuffed with the achievement that you have made? And also yourself, being new in South Africa in coaching terms.
Of course, I'm not to judge in the period I was not here because I know the former coach Benny very well, and I was an assistant coach in Porto. He was a player. We have a very good relation. So for me, it's very difficult to judge in that period. Sometimes you can also be unlucky in games, but we switched. From the moment that I started, I think and now at the end we have some good results. The players are a big unit, and I think they use the qualities of each other very well. And I think that at this moment is with a strong team feeling and using players in the right way at this moment is the biggest strength of our team.
Velile.
Coach, just to maybe touch on something Robin was also asking. Sundowns, yes, we know about your pace, but Sundowns coming to this game, what have you noticed about their game, which you wanted to make sure that your approach gives you the result and the goals that you got today? And also if you can touch on your next game against Stellenbosch. It's a Western Cape derby in Johannesburg, and they've also just picked up their first win since coming back. If you can just touch on your approach coming to the Sundowns game, especially using your pace.
I don't understand completely the question, but I tried to give answer, because I think from Sundowns we have a big respect, of course, for the opponent. I think I saw all the 3 last matches, and I think they have a very good team. They also have a very good coach. He won a lot of titles, so we know it was a big challenge. But we also knew that they gave away which spaces they gave away, and we used it. Of course, they more or less started as the favorite of the game, and that will be different in the next game. That's a derby. And we are in the position now where we are. We are 7th position. We want to, our goal is to be with the first 8. So sometimes that game is it's more difficult than the game of today, because Sundowns always, because it's a big club, then it's also a big challenge. But now we have to find our challenge more in ourselves, to go on what we're doing, to keep the same spirit, to get the same way of playing. And I realized that sometimes the next game after these games is the more difficult game than the game we played today.
Right. Do we have any further questions? Mazola, your hand was up. Are you covered?
Yeah, thanks, Fatu. Coach, just on your striker, Kermit Erasmus, obviously I know it's only just 2 games into the restart, but Kermit looks like he's on top form. Have you worked differently with him during lockdown and in the build-up to the restart? What's different about Kermit Erasmus?
No, but I think that Kermit already scored a lot of goals when I came. I only, but it's the same if you have Kermit. And I saw him in some games that he was in the midfield, and we emphasized a lot on playing the spaces behind the defense of the opponent. And guys like Kermit, it's okay if he sometimes can go in the midfield, because he's also a good football player. Sometimes people underestimate what he can do, but his biggest strength for the team is if we are able by possession game, and then let players like Fagri Lakai and Kermit play the ball behind the defense. And it's again the same story. We use the qualities of Kermit in the right way, and he adapts also very good, and he makes the right moments to get in position. So it's always the combination about the player, the qualities of the player, and how the team used those qualities. And Kermit did fantastic. He's always dangerous. He scores goals, and just before the break he had a bad injury. He came back, and now he's really in a very great shape.
Chad, you'll have the last question.
Thank you, Fatu. Coach, I'm sure you couldn't be more pleased with the start to the way you guys have played in your first 2 matches. You also into the top 8 now. Is that one of the targets for you, and is that the expectation of the chairman, for you to finish inside the top 8?
Yeah, I think that's at this moment it's a fair goal. We of course we have in the next 5 games we have 2 difficult games, but if we like now I think we are in the 7th position, and we're not. This is not the end of the competition, so we can be happy now. But we have to now to protect this position, and that's different than when we started. And we started on the 10th position, and even the feeling get the points, because the distance between the last the teams in at the bottom of the ranking. It's also we also have to be aware that we need points to get away from there. Now we are where we are, and I think that's realistic now to make your final goal and your aim is being with the first 8.
All right, thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sure.